call the January 26th regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners to order, and we would ask everyone to please rise for the invocation to be delivered by Reverend John Afsada from First Christian Church. Thank you so much for being with us, as always.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I would like to just take a moment as the chairperson of the Resource Office of Social Ministry to thank the Commission for your support of all of the nonprofits in Frankfort. We could not do the ministries that we have without your support to help those in need in this community. So thank you for remembering us during the budget time and for your support over the years. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, and we thank you.
Thank you. Let's pray together. Gracious and loving God, we come to you this afternoon because you are our source of our wisdom, the source of justice, the source of peace, the source of love, the source of hope, and we need you in our lives. Without you, we are lost, and we are lost in terms of our future. We thank you for those who are willing to take on the role of governance, for it is never easy and it is often thankless. We thank you for the willingness to make decisions that are often difficult and sometimes unpopular. And yet we pray for courage for these men and women as they serve this community. For it is a community that not only do they love, but we love. And we look for its future to be even brighter than its past. And we recognize in a profound place in our lives that can only happen when our trust is in you. So we pray your blessing upon this group gathered today. And we thank you for your love poured out. And we pray to you because you alone are holy, you alone are worthy, and you alone are love. It is in Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so very much. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by City Commissioner Tommy Hayes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Commissioner Haynes.
Here.
Commissioner Sauer.
Here.
Mr. Roach.
Here.
Mr. Bowers.
Here.
Mayor May.
Here we do have a quorum present, and we welcome our newest city commissioner, who really is being welcomed back as a former mayor, a former city commission member. It's good to have you back, and your
Thank you, Mayor.
experience will be greatly appreciative.
Glad to be here.
And at this time, I would ask if there's any corrections or any items regarding the minutes that need to be addressed. Commissioner Bowers.
Yes, Mayor, I have just two little things. On December 8th, the 1 o'clock meeting, Catherine Vedder, her name is Vedder, Teddy's like dog. Okay.
Duly noted.
The 5 o'clock meeting, page 2,
Jamina.
Vedder. The 5 o'clock meeting, page 2, under old business, 1, 2, 3. The 6th paragraph down, it states, Commissioner Bowers expressed concern over communication between City Commission and Fiscal Court regarding the joint swearing-in planned for January 5th without consent of city officials. Discussion followed. Actually, it was the lack of communication between this board and fiscal court that I brought to the attention of this board. And I'll just tell the public, I did not attend that swearing in because when I learned of the time of it was when the invitation came in the mail telling me it was at 10 o'clock in the morning. And this board never had a discussion about that time of day. So I think that needs to be amended. Oh, and I was in Faculty Institute, the once a semester thing that I can't miss. So my problem with it was this board never discussed setting that time. Someone from here met with someone over there, I assume, but it wasn't a full board decision. And that's why for the first time in, 6 terms, I had to miss the swearing in. So that needs to read that Commissioner Bowers expressed concern over the lack of communication between the city commission and fiscal court. That's okay. So I would make the motion that we correct those 2 things.
All those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Okay, those are corrected. Now, any others?
Go ahead.
Okay, now entertain a
Make a
motion.
motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Roach.
Did
Second
you
by
make a
Commissioner
motion
Haynes.
to approve as amended? Is that what it was?
I make a motion to approve as amended, but I think that's understood since we passed it.
And I was going to
I'm
say that when
happy
we
with
did it, I
that.
read it back. Thank you
Alright.
so much. Motion by Commissioner Roach
Second.
to approve the minutes as amended, second by Commissioner Haynes. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Haynes.
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer.
Yes.
Commissioner Roach.
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes. The first item of business for this new term is to elect a mayor pro tem. And I would open the floor for any motions from the commission.
Mayor, I
Commissioner
nominate
Bowers.
Commissioner Haynes.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Bowers and second by Commissioner Sauer to nominate Commissioner Haynes as Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Commissioner Haynes.
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer.
Yes.
Commissioner Roach.
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes, and we congratulate Mayor Pro Tem Haynes and look forward to working with you and the entire commission as we start this new term. I'll say the last term, we had, last few months have been very gracious, everyone working well together, and I know this commission is going to be at least at that level and probably even more so.
We have a lot of experience up here. Commissioner Sauer and Mayor May and
And I will say, I think my first government appointment was made by Mayor Sauer, Mayor John Sauer, not to be confused with his father, Mayor Frank Sauer, but Mayor John Sauer to serve on the Bluegrass Area Development District Human Resources Advisory Committee back in 1983, 84.
83, Mayor.
So, I was saying like the 83, but I was like, that was it, and deeply appreciated that, so. Great group of folks, we appreciate everyone's input, and I'll say that the members that we've worked with, and with the addition of Commissioner Sauer, I think we're going to have some very productive sessions, and you will see a great level of civility amongst the members, even when we disagree. We will be able to leave those disagreements on the table and not have any carryover for outside the meeting or at future meetings. So looking forward to some positive things. So thank you all. And once again, I know that the entire commission thanks all of our staff for the wonderful work that you all do to make sure that we have the information available to us prior to the meetings and during the meetings, and we appreciate that so very much. Next item, ceremonial items. I do not believe that we have any ceremonial items tonight, at least there are none listed. Next item would be first and second reading of ordinances. Sorry, citizen comments. And this is exactly why, maybe I need to fill my glasses off when I'm trying to read. This is why I got the 26th and the 29th event that's coming up Thursday. I think it was today. Any citizen comments? And see, I guess I knew that there was no, I looked out, and said, I don't think there's going to be. But thank you all. Next item is first and second reading of ordinances. We have a second reading under 4.1. We ask that this be read by title and summary only before any action or discussion is taking place.
By title, an ordinance rezoning property for an approximately 0.3 acre of property identified as 304-306 Wapping Street at 316 Wapping Street in Frankfort, Kentucky, and being more specifically described as PBA map number 61-24-11-14.02, 61-24-11-15, and 61-24-11-1501 from SH Special Historic to CB Central Business District. Summary. This ordinance approves a zone map amendment from Special Historic to Central Business District for the property located at 304, 306 Wapping Street and 316 Wapping Street in Frankfort, Kentucky, and having the PBA map number 61-24-11-14.02, 61-24-11-15, and 61-24-11-15.01, and being more particularly described in the legal description attached here too, a copy of which is on file in the office of the city clerk.
Heard the title and summary. Are there any questions or discussions, or are you ready for a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Roach, second by Commissioner Bowers. Any other discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call roll.
Commissioner Haynes,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Roach,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes, item 4.1 is approved. Looking down, everybody's in different places now, so it's messed up my perspective as to who's getting to say what, and then some folks sometimes are blocked by the way the desk curves.
You know, I think I've sat in every chair up here now, and this one has the best perspective. I can see every face. It's kind of different.
So if I skip something, please don't think it's intentional, just reach in and I will make sure I recognize.
Mayor Pro Tem will help you out.
Thank you so much. Next item is second reading of 4.2. Do I ask that this be read by title and summary only?
Title, an ordinance amending ordinance number 9, 2014 series, appropriating the revenue to be received by the city of Frankfort for the fiscal year 2014 and 15. Summary, this ordinance amends the city of Frankfort budget for fiscal year 2014-15 to include grants in the following sums. EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant, $400,000. Transportation Alternatives Grant, $233,350. Certified Local Government Grant, $10,800. Kentucky Homeland Security Grant, $6,000. The ordinance also amends the City of Frankfort budget for fiscal year 2014-15 to include additional funds for the Franklin County Humane Society, $10,000. Funds for the Kentucky National Guard Memorial, $15,000. Funds for the Family Aquatic Center, $750,000. Funds for Public Works, the old landfill repair, $25,355. And salt, $64,073.
Thank you, Solicitor. Any questions on this one, or
I make a motion to approve. Second.
moved by Commissioner Roach, second by Commissioner Haynes? Any other discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call roll.
Commissioner Haynes,
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Roach,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes, 4.2 is adopted. Next item is 4.3, second reading, and would ask that it be read by title and summary only.
By title, an ordinance amending sections 39.04, 39.07, and 39.15 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances regarding ethics. By summary, this ordinance amends the City of Frankfort's Code of Ethics by providing more specificity in section 39.07, the ordinance prohibiting the solicitation or acceptance of gifts by city employees or city officers. The definitions of the phrases "does business with" and "regulated by" were added to section 39.04 because these phrases are used in section 39.07 as amended. The definition of family members was amended to make it consistent with the definition of family members in the city's nepotism policy. Section 39.15 was amended to incorporate by reference the city's nepotism policy as adopted by city order.
Any discussion on this item?
Move for adoption.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Sauer, second by Commissioner Haynes. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call roll.
Commissioner Haynes.
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Roach,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes, 4.3 is adopted. Next item is 4.4, asked to be read by title and summary only. Please.
An ordinance amending Chapter 40, Sections 40.56 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances regarding police policies and procedures. Summary. This ordinance amends Chapter 40 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances by specifically amending Section 40.56 to provide that the Police Department Manual of Policies and Procedures is adopted by reference as an ordinance. The Manual of Rules of Conduct and Performance was integrated into the Manual of Policies and Procedures during the accreditation process.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item?
Move to adopt.
Moved by Commissioner Sowers, seconded
Second.
by Commissioner Roach. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call roll.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Commissioner Sowers?
Yes.
Commissioner Roach?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers?
Yes.
Mayor May?
Yes, 4.4 is adopted. Next item is first reading on 4.5. Does not require a vote, but does require reading by title and summary only, please.
Title, an ordinance amending Chapter 37, Personnel, and Chapter 40, Police Department and Fire Department, Sections 37.31, 40.24, 40.30, 40.32, and 40.36 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances regarding fire department personnel. By summary, this ordinance amends Section 37.31E of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances, which contains the job classifications of the city, and Sections 40.24, 40.30, 40.32, and 40.36 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances concerning the provisions applicable to the position of lieutenant in the fire department by eliminating the position of lieutenant from the city fire department and reclassifying all fire lieutenants as fire captains.
Item 4.5 has had its first reading. It will be classified as for point whatever on the next agenda, which will be assigned by the city clerk. Next item would be orders, and we don't have any. Next item for that is resolutions. Get to my resolution page. One is authorizes the filing of an application for a certified local government grant for attendance to the 2015 National Preservation Conference, and authorizes the mayor to execute all grant-related documents. This is, I think, total is $8,000, and there's a federal share, which is $4,800 from the Kentucky Heritage Council, and 40% local match of $3,200 would be required. Money is available in the general fund 2014-2015 budget. If there's any questions, I'll answer those. If not, entertain a motion. Commissioner Roach has a question. Go ahead.
So I assume if we don't get the grant, we wouldn't be able to go?
I don't know that we wouldn't be able to go. It would just be, we'd pay the full amount. If someone chose, if the staff deemed it was important enough to attend.
How likely are we to receive the grant?
I haven't heard that we would or would not, but I believe Ms. Hall would be able to answer that if you would like to answer that question for Commissioner Sauer, and also with Commissioner Roach in terms of the benefits gained by staff attending, and also the probability or
Since I've been with the city, since 2006, we've been funded every year. That's not to say we would be this year, it's competitive, but chances are fairly good. It's my understanding that, and Gary can speak to this, that they have continuing education in his department that they're required to do, and this would satisfy some of those.
We typically have budgeted every other year for one member to go, and this would allow two members to go.
So we feel like we'll get the grant, hopefully? Okay.
And I guess the question, if just for the benefit of the staff, if we do not get the grant, I guess the commission would have to review the issue, and I certainly wouldn't have any problem if the commission had to pay for the attendance, since it has been beneficial according to our department heads.
And the conference is not until November of 15, right?
Correct. And we would be, if not awarded, we would be asking for a budget of just one individual to go.
That's what I'm
Cost
saying.
is about the same.
So in order,
$8,000 for one to go? So do they charge, you know me and money, do they charge a big fee for you to go?
Yes, sir. Almost, I think it's $700 and some for the registration alone.
So where does the rest of the money come from? To go to-
Fare, lodging, and it's a 3-day conference, so.
Right?
And food. It adds up quickly.
But it's 8,000 total, right?
Yeah, we're asking for 8,000 total for 2 people.
Gotcha, I understand. This seems like a lot of money. Okay.
So I guess to expedite, if it's not funded with the commission, and I certainly, if you don't want to vote on it tonight, just for their planning purposes, would there be an objection if they don't? Which you feel like we're going to have a high probability of getting the grant anyway?
Yes. I can't guarantee, but like I said, we've been funded every year.
And I wouldn't have any problem and if y'all don't want it, I don't want to force something. I'm just trying to think ahead if that does come back so it can expedite.
We
Can we
should
could
know
pre-approve
in
that.
May, so we can come back. We have plenty of time to come
Okay.
back.
Then we'll
Come back, it will
Okay.
come back if we have a problem.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Commissioner. So, we'll entertain a motion on, did we get a motion? No. Entertain a motion on 6.1. Unless there's other questions. Motion by Commissioner Bowers, was that, were you
I'm
raised?
sorry, what?
Was that, were you motioning to, okay, I'm sorry, when you raised your hand up, I just wanted to be sure.
Well,
So was there
I was
anybody-
just saying, if we didn't get the grant, what I'm hearing is we would, if we decided to expend it, we would expend $4,000 for one person.
More than likely, which
But
is.
if we get it, then it's 8,000 that we get.
And we would already be expending, the 40% match would already be $3,200, so the difference would be, $800, $600, $800, depending on final cost. So hopefully we get the grant, we get 2 people to go because of the benefit.
Well, I'll just move.
So do we need to make the motion conditional?
That's really what this is, actually.
I just need clarification what we need.
Okay. If we vote tonight on item 6.1, it would give authorization to send 2 people. If the grant is awarded and the total amount, the city match is $3,200, which is a 40% match. And that's based on the local government grant not to exceed $8,000. So all you're doing tonight is authorizing application.
Application.
Yes.
Okay.
So I move for approval for the application.
Moved by Commissioner Haynes.
I second.
Second.
Okay, I was ready to call it. I was going to say, it looks like no
You can
second.
have it.
I don't know, Commissioner Roach, second by Commissioner Roach. Is there any other discussion? If not, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Mr. Sauer.
Yes.
Mr. Roach.
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes, 6.1 is approved. Next item is 6.2, it's a resolution to adopt the wayfinding signage master plan. This would just be the plan that we looked at previously with Carmen Consultants for the final implementation of this master plan.
Move that we adopt.
Moved by
Second.
Commissioner Sauer, second by Commissioner Haynes. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call roll.
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Mr. Sauer.
Yes.
Mr. Roach.
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers.
Yes.
Mayor May.
Yes, 6.2 is adopted, and next item would be consent calendar. These are, I think there was 7 point,
Yes.
which items did you?
Yes.
wish
Mayor,
to-
I'd like us to consider 7.2 and 7.3
Okay.
under new business.
Okay. If there's, does anyone object to that? Because I think there's going to be some questions, so
Yeah.
we'll take them off. 7.2 and 7.3 will be moved under the appropriate title of new business, so whichever they're going to be renumbered. 9.1 and
10.1.
10.2 and 10.3. Thank you, and just for the benefit, since it's a new term, consent calendar items are items which are considered to be non-controversial in nature, which would not have any discussion or questions that need to be addressed. If there are discussion needed or questions that need to be asked, we take these items off the consent calendar and put them under a different section, as we just did. And at the end of that, any city commission member who signified their presence tonight will be considered to have voted in the affirmative on consent calendar items unless they file a vote modification form with the city clerk. And I don't know if we've had any vote modification plans, so we require a motion and a second, and there's no discussion, and we just vote, and that takes care of the consent. This is an expedited way to deal with non-controversial items. So it asks that the city manager read the items 7.1 through 7. Whatever it is, the last one, 7.13.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 7.1 is letter of commitment allowing the city of Frankfort and DFI to continue in the Renaissance on Main Street program, main program for 2015. Item 7.4 is $1,350 lease agreement with Benson Valley Marina to provide a boat slip for the Park and Recreation pontoon boat. Item 7.5 is addendum to the facilities agreement with Frankfort Independent Schools allowing a baseball field at Panther Athletic Complex and a playground structure on Meager Avenue. Item 7.6 is not to exceed $129,000 professional services agreement with QK4 to design and bid manholes and gravity sewer mains on East Main from Broadway to Martin Luther King Boulevard. Item 7.7 is $476,985 1,500-gallon fire pumper purchase from Ferrara Fire Apparatus to replace a frontline aerial. Item 7.8 is a $200 agreement with Josephine Sculpture Park to exhibit 2 pieces of artwork at Riverview Park in 2015 and 2016 respectively. The city will provide the concrete pads. Item 7.9, estimated $440,000 annual premium to provide in excess of $75,000 individual and $3.5 million aggregate health reinsurance with HCC Life Insurance. Item 7.10 is a $38,069.53 change order number 2 and $53,880.17 change order number 3 with D.W. Wilburn to provide heaters, a change of lockers, stained floors, and shade canopies for the Family Aquatic Center. Revised contract amount $5,835,885.70. Item 7.11 is a $14,086 demolition contract with John Felzall Jr. to remove buildings on Gale, LaFoon, and Dabney Streets. Item 7.12 is a $40,000 annual payment to the PVA for 2014 and 15 property tax assessments. Item 7.13 is personnel. The first is a resignation of Robert Weber, sewer plant operator trainee, effective 1/16/15. The next is a promotion of Jim Parrish as Director of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Sites, and that is effective 1/1/15. I want to back up to the resignation and include the authorization of payment of accrued leave. Finally, under personnel is Stephen Kiles, new hire as Patrol Officer 1, effective 1/20/15. That concludes the consent agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We entertain a motion on the consent calendar items.
Move for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Haynes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Sauer. All those that have signified their presence tonight will be considered to vote in the affirmative on the consent items unless they file vote modification forms, which we have none. Next item would be board appointments. Next item would be old business. Old business by the commission.
I do, but I'll wait till
Okay.
last.
Commissioner Bowers.
I don't know if it's old or new. Do we want to? I'll just ask
It's okay.
if we want to
If it's not, we'll
elect Commissioner Haynes to our JLS committee. You say there's only one meeting left, but you've been attending those meetings. Commissioner Wilder was the commission-appointed member, I guess, to that committee, and Commissioner Haynes has been doing it. Do we want to make that formal, or just, no?
I don't know what's necessary, but I know that an email came out, and I responded to the email, and everybody got that email, and they said they would add me to that list so that I would start, I'd have started getting.
You've already been doing it anyway, but I just wondered if we wanted to formally appoint you. I just move that we formally appoint Commissioner Haynes
Can move by
to the
Commissioner-
JLS committee.
Commissioner Bowers,
Second.
second by Commissioner Sauer. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign.
Man, I really have to go.
I think that was the motive.
Well, Commissioner Haynes, like, probably one of us could fill in for you if you have to.
He's got
Anyway.
experience.
But you've been doing it anyway all along, so. But if you can't go, you can call me and I'll go for you.
I will say too, and I've attended most of those, and I know Commissioner Roach has attended many of those as well, so any commissioner is welcome to be there, but Commissioner Haynes will be
Our
our
designated.
designated hitter in terms of discussion at those meetings, and we appreciate your willingness to do that. And let's see. So Commissioner Roach, do you have some old business?
Yes, sir. I guess one first thing I got is on our goals. I would ask that we be given, maybe to Wednesday to see if there's any final changes. Like, for example, some people haven't put their vote in yet from when we got time to change any vote that we had, or we had an NMI, which was need more information. And then I think maybe one or two people have seen some things that maybe were tabulated wrong. So if we could get a couple of, maybe say Wednesday, by the 28th, everybody get in everything they need to get in, and then just be finished. So that would be one thing, if that's all right with everybody.
Absolutely, thank you.
Do you want us to put an email into Ramona saying, good to go? Is that what you're asking?
Or if you want any changes, I think it's.
Oh.
I think for the, especially where those.
And some
where
of
it
them
said-
need to vote still.
Yes, where it said NMI needed more information, we
Yeah.
got those answered, and
And there were a couple of others that I thought could be still combined with other goals that are already
Did you-
there. You know.
thank you, Commissioner Roach.
And then, on the riverfront development memo that we got from Joey, I wanted to, there's 4 items. I would, if there's support from the commission, I'd like to see increased river cleanup, which was number 3. If there's support from the commission, I would like for us to investigate and assist with the RV park, which would be located right there on Old Lawrenceburg Road, almost right next to the connector.
What number is that?
That's number 4. And they're wanting to know about the possibility of us providing additional sewer lines so we can look and see what the price is. I also think that from talking to Tim, there may be some ways to get around a potential stumbling block with the state on that. So I'd like to do whatever we can do to get that going. I think that would be really good for the community to have that park there. And then on number 2, I started with the easy ones first. On number 2, about the boat docks, I think we're doing that. Jim came with the presentation, we agreed to it, and I know that if there's demand for it and we need it, he'll be back again. So I think we can rest assured is that right?
Yes.
And then on number 1, on the tourism park, if it was all right with the commission, what I would like is a little more information on that. Maybe Jim can give it to us at the next work session about where that is. Can we get a grant to pay for it? How much demand do we expect? That kind of stuff.
Without objection.
Okay.
While we're talking, just real quick, the boat docks, 'cause Commissioner Haynes and I don't have we don't have.
I'm happy to loan mine to you. There you go.
The boat dock, was that the easy docks we're talking about, and we're talking about the one at Riverview Park?
Yes, sir.
And then we would do that was just the one, and then Blanton's Landing, which is at the end, by the.
If we need it.
If we need it.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay, great. Thank you, Commissioner. Good. I think, does anyone disagree? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Does everybody agree with that?
Sure.
If there's no objection, then
Mayor,
Go ahead.
Go
so
ahead.
we'll just formally direct our staff. Let me just say this. All those in favor of those recommendations that Commissioner Roach just read, just signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like, okay, now we've voted. So now it's,
Who moved and seconded?
I just said without objection, if there's no objection. Let's go back, we'll go back then. Does someone make a motion?
I make a motion to accept those things.
Moved by Commissioner Oaks, second by Commissioner Haynes. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. There we go.
Okay, ready for another one?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, in light of the really good press that I think Kentucky State University is getting, and then they had a really good event last week, I had to leave a little early, so I missed some of it. But I think there's a couple of items on our goals on Kentucky State, and I don't think we need to wait. I think that's hot enough. Let's go ahead. So whether it's of course, this was one I wrote, and you can combine it with the other ones, but I think we need to go ahead and start those regularly scheduled meetings with the city manager and the county judge. And if the mayor wanted to take part in that, all to the better, and KSU president, so we can be looking at areas where we can collaborate and make each institution better. And I'm afraid that if we don't just get on it, that next year we'll be talking about, sure would be good if we collaborate. So I think if we collaborate at that level, we'll actually get something done.
Any objections? And yes, I would definitely like to attend those.
I kind of figured that.
All right.
Keep going.
Please keep going. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
I'm signing the
That's
action
all
that we
right.
just took, so.
Hey, Tom, when do we quit doing garbage for people that don't pay?
I think when we complete, I talked to Rob about that, when we, have we mailed out all the final notices?
We have not. Steve has just provided me with an updated list, so that'll go out by the first week of February.
And I should have just sent an email on that, sorry. Another one, if you remember about 11 months ago, we put together an interlocal agreement on emergency management, try to get the county to help pay for that. And we got to it a little later than maybe we wanted to, so we put it off. I suggest we get on that immediately and sort of have a soft deadline of, early February, mid-February to get a response from the county so that we can go ahead and have that for their budget and for our budget so that we don't wait so long and then we say, well, it's too late. And then we pay for all of it again.
Any comments?
I thought we had a draft of a emergency management.
We do have one.
Okay, have we not given it to them?
Well, and then we've got a new judge now who may or may not, I'm not sure what the county's going to do with the current.
I'm not either, but
They've got, the county judge has within a certain time frame to make that decision as required by state law.
But I just want, and I would also ask as part of that, Commissioner Haynes, which I forgot, which is to email us the one that we got a year ago, that probably all of us have forgotten some of it. The part I remember was 50-50. And so I'd like to get that back, and then I'd like for us to move on that so that we don't get in a point where, once again, we're paying for everything, which we've been doing since 2007, give or take.
Would you like our director or deputy director to get any kind of, so you can see costs, what's been spent on that, plus the
I guess what we'd want to see, what we plan on spending next year. That'd be the key thing, and then this year, I kind of know this year and last year, but we're talking about having to buy some new sirens, I think, so that it's, so.
Warning signs.
Yes, sir.
Outside.
I think that we need that, but the main thing I want is to get it to the county and let's see what they're gonna do. They may not want to do it, may want to do their own, they may want to take ours over, I don't know, but I just want to do it cheaper.
I will say too on that, the bit of information that I know from the state is that the city program is the recognized program for emergency management and would continue to get funding if the county did change. And I don't want to speak for the state, but that's the information I got from our director, who is off until February 1st.
Yeah, but as you know, that funding we get is about 7 cents on the dollar. We pay 93 cents. So it's not a lot of money. I think it's what, about $28,000, 27?
I think there's some other things. I don't have those
I don't
figures. I'd
have
have to
it
get it from.
But anyway, just if we could go ahead, unless anybody's against that, go ahead and move on that.
So if no objections? Any objections?
I like the
Okay, go ahead.
middle of February only because I think February 1st is next Sunday. So I'd like, middle of February sounds good, sounds good.
Maybe we could have something by the work session,
Which is,
which would be what, February 9th? Let's shoot for that.
Can we ask what you mean by have something? We can certainly email to you all tomorrow the most recent draft of the agreement, but
I may have something from the county, a response. Think that's too fast?
I'm trying to think when the county judge has 30 days or 60 days to make.
I'm not sure of the exact time frame.
I have to look back. It's in chapter 39, but it's either, I think it's 60.
I mean, a contact could certainly be made, but we can't guarantee you that the county judge
Okay.
will respond.
Well, how about we contact them within the next 2 days, and then we'll just see where we are?
Okay.
How's that?
If that's
I'll
the will
also-
of the commission.
And I'll,
See what everybody
I'll
says.
also, I'll reach out to him on that, because of the connection with the program, and we'll do so.
Okay.
Did you have any other whole business?
Believe it or not, that's it.
Is there any other commissioners?
Can I ask a
Go ahead.
question of, like,
Gotta make a note of
the
that.
goals? I think I'm up to date, like, where is she? Are you asking that, it looks like there's a few people that didn't make up their mind yet on some things?
Yes,
And so you
ma'am.
want them to make up their mind on those some things?
Yes, ma'am, and then if some of them have wrong vote, in other words, we think maybe we said 3 instead of 1, or 2 instead of 1, or if something's tabulated wrong.
So are you saying that after that,
We're
that
done.
well, that's what I need to ask you, or I'm not clear on. See, I wouldn't think we're really done yet. I mean, maybe I'm
We're
thinking.
ready to start working on it.
Well, what I'm saying is, we've got like all these pages of goals, like they range from 1 being like ultra important for right now, all the way to maybe 2 point something, maybe not so important right now. So at some point, I think we need to decide where our cutoff is. Is our cutoff
agree.
1.4, or is our cutoff what? So that we can share our priorities with the public. This
Get
is
'em
what
done.
we've decided to do. Is that what our goal is? That's what I'm thinking. Our goal is about the
My
goals.
understanding was they would be ranked by department,
And they are.
and they are right now.
And so that we would then share our most top priority goals after that's completed
Yes,
in our February meeting.
which doesn't mean you can't bring up an issue later.
Or absolutely, or I guess Ramona could give that to the press or something, but at some point we want to take all of
Yes.
these and share like what has become the priority based on this lengthy process.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I didn't mean we had ended before.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I-
ended to have,
Yeah, I
we
just
were
wanted
done
to-
as far as, we're on the same page.
I got you
Old
now.
business?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Commissioner Sauer has some.
Did you need to go next?
no, go right ahead, but the last comment on that other one though.
Okay.
Just based on our goals this time, we had 10 that all had #1 votes. I mean, everybody thought those were great.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had 2 more that had all ones except for one N and I. So if you got that one, so that will clean this one up.
Yep.
And I think that is gonna give us a nice little flow.
Yeah.
And there's still a couple of them, I agree with Commissioner Sauer, a couple of them still could probably be merged. Because there's some I even drew lines, of course, they're basically saying the same thing, just saying it differently.
So do you think, Commissioner Haynes, as well as these other things we talked about, by Wednesday, if we had any suggestions for consolidation, we could get those in too and maybe tighten them even more? I think that's good.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
That's
you.
okay. No, thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner
I
Sauer.
just had a non-spending item to come up with that I thought we could do and go ahead and move forward to. It's on our page 6 of the most recent goals and objectives, and that says the city should host a joint economic meeting with KCDC, the Industrial Development Authority, the Chamber of the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet, and host that, Mayor, with the county. Invite them to join us, as I know one of your objectives was, Mayor.
Absolutely.
and I think we ought to go ahead and make those invitations. The thought or idea behind mine is those particular entities would get together and propose to the city and county, whether it's 3 or 5 steps that we could make to encourage industrial development.
Any thoughts?
I like it.
Everybody good? So we'll have direct city manager to get with the appropriate staff to make those contacts. Okay, any other old business? Then are we going to be ready for new business? We have one item here.
Do it.
To approve change order number 2 for Cleary Construction for changes due to unanticipated conditions discovered during the construction process in the sewer department on 95 LF extension to the main line for the Myrtle Avenue Phase 1 project. This is in the amount of $53,742, which makes the revised contract total $1,218,343. And there is money available in account 54390.
I make a motion to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Roach,
Second.
second by Commissioner Haynes. Any discussion? See none, clerk please call roll.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mr. Sauer?
Yes.
Mr. Roach?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers?
Yes.
Mayor May?
Yes, and 10.2 is going to be the previous item 7.2 under consent item, which was
Data terminal.
17.
it was your previous 7.2 under
The consent.
consent.
Mobile data purchase.
I'm sorry.
Mobile data terminals.
So it is your, do we not call these mobile data computers now technically?
Yes.
This is not really a term, this is actually probably correct, not trying to be technical, but
Mobile data computers,
because these
and
are capable
abbreviations
of.
MDC. Just a little background on it. Along about 2003, 2004, we actually brought in and started operating using mobile data computers. At that time, if I'm not mistaken, there was a one-time grant that we were able to enter in with the county, and we got the whole fleet. Through some very meticulous and careful management of those, we've been able to stretch those out for about 10 years now. We have, over the last 3 or 4 years, slowly started upgrading that fleet because, as you all know, technology is an ever-evolving process. So, generally speaking, if you buy a home computer in 6 months, it's just about obsolete, and it's time to start thinking about the next one. So we've been fortunate to get about 10 years out of those. But we've gotten it to the point now to where we're only about 10 short from having a uniform fleet of MDCs. And we're thinking it's Panasonic's it's a tough book. It's a new, upgraded, more police-focused hardware technology. And we have some in operation now, and they've been really great. Also, we were able to shop around this time, get a new vendor. Commissioner Roach saved us about $300 per unit, so it's a state contract.
I'm still having trouble handling how we can spend $3,800 a unit. Woo,
Yeah,
it's expensive.
they're
It must be made out of platinum or something.
they're a little
They
more
are.
than your average laptop computer. And the officers actually utilize those things. Just like anything with technology, once you commit to going that route, you become completely reliant on it. So they do everything from write citations to they receive their calls from dispatch. Now, there's getting ready, and I can't go into great detail on it because I'm no expert on it, but we're getting ready to update our CAD to a thing called Interact Mobile. And once that's upgraded, it's going to truly interact with these MDCs.
so that the officers, and a lot of the functionality that's there and is available right now in the software that we're running for our MDC mobile, what's called Mobile Cop. The buttons are there, but they're not functional. So as soon as we get the Interact up to date on the CAD side, then it's going to be truly interactive, and the officers will be able to message back and forth with the dispatchers and do a whole lot more functionality with them. So I'm hoping that once we get this fleet uniform, obviously it's going to improve efficiency a great deal, because you're not going to have to you're not have nearly as much maintenance on them or downtime. And I'm thinking that probably we should be able to get 6 or 7 years out of these once we become uniform before we really have to actively consider replacing any of them.
And you might add, just in response to Commissioner Roach's question, the $38,807 is coming out of the U.S. Justice Asset Forfeiture Account,
Yes.
which is for
It's
assets
forfeited
that have
drug
been
money.
seized.
Yes, sir.
Chief, I'm delighted with what you did. It just happened to be coincidentally #1 across the board on our goals and objectives. I
Very
love
good.
that.
Well, outstanding. That's good to hear.
#2, I liked it that you found money, and that's always kind and wonderful, isn't it?
Sure.
And #3, you did make use of the state price contract. I've dealt over 35 years with state price contracts, and I know 99 times out of 100, you can save money by using the state contract. So I congratulate you.
Thank you.
And while you're here, you might elaborate a little bit about what you found with the new organizational structure.
Okay.
Is that all right, Mayor?
Absolutely.
You know, so far we're not quite a full month into it just yet. I can say that preliminarily, the financial aspect of it is going very well. We haven't experienced any need for overtime in the way of manpower shortage thus far. Also, the All-A Classic that's coming up, traditionally we've had to staff that with overtime. We're going to be able to do that with officers that we already have scheduled for the street. Hopefully that's going to break up and mix up that 12-hour day. And again, it is a long day. The feedback that I'm currently getting is just through the grapevine, because we've not got the formal results yet from the employee surveys. But I have heard, you know, it is a long day. You hear officers say that, and we all knew that. But a lot of them seem to be very positive about it, and not just the effects on their personal life, but also their ability to improve, as we had hoped, on their self-initiated activity and targeting specific problems. And in fact, today we've set a weekly, or it's turned into bi-weekly, but probably will be weekly, meeting with the captains and the command staff, and they were able to provide a couple of examples where the increase in the manpower availability has helped us to already. We had a hot spot that was isolated and recognized on the east side of town. The officers were able to target their efforts there, and they've identified a suspect on that within about a week or so of that becoming an issue. So that's obviously directly what we want to do. They were also able to make a couple of drug cases on the street level and recover a stolen vehicle as a result of the targeted efforts in patrol. So we have the employee surveys coming online, and we will be completing those the first week of February. And it's about 6 or so questions that they're going to get back to me, that I will then summarize for you. Also, by the end of this week, the community survey, and that's something I really want to push out to the community. The community survey is going to be live and up and running, and it'll be linked to the city's website. So I would encourage anyone who sees anything at all that an increase in the number of officers, a positive result from the increased efforts, to log on there, so that we will in fact have data. And again, my initial approach here for the first 6 months, I think, is going to be at the work sessions monthly, to just give you all a brief overview of what's going on, and then maybe a comprehensive overview quarterly. And hopefully as long as we can get people to give us that data, that's what we're going to have to do. One thing that I'm going to try to do is work with the plant board. It's my understanding that they're going to do a local access television show. And I'm going to try to work with them and get that set up so that I can get on there periodically. And it may be something of that nature to educate the public on the availability of online reporting of bike crash and bike crime, of the community surveys. And it may be just a matter of putting out public information on hardening of targets and preventing the access to criminal incidents. So that's kind of where we're at for right now, and it seems to be pretty positive thus far. And like I said, hopefully by the work session, I hope to have, probably won't have any community data available because, like I said, that won't be up until the end of the week. But I hope to have at least some in-house input, some financial input, and I can already see a vast improvement on the number of case closures and discoveries that we're going to be able to make with it.
Great. Any further on this item?
No, sir.
Okay, we require a motion.
Move for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Haynes.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sauer. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call roll.
Commissioner Haynes?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roach?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowers?
Yes.
Mayor May?
Yes, thank you so much. Next item is change order 7. It's previously listed as 7.3 on page 7 under consent calendar items. This is a deal with the sewer department, and I don't know what the questions were, so Commissioner Sauer, would you like to?
Well, just to explain for the public what we're doing here with this project.
Go ahead, Mr. Scoff.
How much detail do you want?
Oh, about
Well-
5.5 minutes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you gotta hold him to that.
As part of our consent judgment, we are required to mitigate our combined sewer overflows when we have heavy rains. There are a number of different ways you can do that. In our previous meeting, you heard Ms. Raines talking about separation of sewers. We are doing that in very limited cases just because of the high cost of separating the sewers. So our options are limited to how do we mitigate the problem, not eliminate the problem. And what we have discovered with the help of our consultant, looking at a number of different alternatives, is through the construction of this tank, what we can do is, well, let me back up for a moment. When we get heavy rains, the first amount of rain in the combined sewer areas gets to the plant, gets treated, and gets discharged to the river. When the capacity of the pipes are exceeded, we start having discharges to the river of untreated sewage. Now, it's highly diluted with rainwater, but it is untreated sewage. The goal of the tank is to get more of that water to the plant, in the tank for storage, less untreated sewage directly to the river. Once the flows decrease, we will take what's in the tank, slowly feed that back through the plant for treatment, and send it to the river. So at the end of the day, and these don't hold me to these specific numbers, but if we were discharging 1 million gallons before, we might only be discharging maybe 100 or 200,000 gallons untreated. The rest of that will come to the plant, get treated, and go to the river.
Wonderful.
That's our goal. And we think by doing that, we'll actually reduce the cost of some of the other alternatives that we would have to look at if we were to do treatment at each CSO discharge, which is also an option. Does that answer your
Very
question?
good.
Well, you did well, Bill.
Did he reach the time limit?
He was under.
Oh, under, okay.
Whoa, let me go.
Might have some questions from someone.
Well, can I say, just to put it in perspective, because some people may not know, we're talking about it, the capacity of the sewer, the wastewater treatment plant is 9.9 million gallons.
Our design capacity is 9.9 million gallons a day. Our peak design capacity is 24 million gallons a day. We have pushed as much as 30 million through the plant in a day's time.
And so
We
I
don't
want-
like doing that.
No, and that's not, but as I to put it in perspective, this is a 10 million gallon above ground storage tank.
Yes.
Which is the same, actually a little bit more capacity
One-day
under,
capacity.
under the normal dry conditions of what the sewer plant is. So it's
And under
pretty
normal,
fascinating, actually.
under normal flow, we treat an average of about 6.5 to 7 million gallons a day on an average day with no rain.
It's very fascinating. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this requires, if there's no other questions, this requires a motion.
Move for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Haynes, seconded by
Sour.
Commissioner Sauer. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mr. Sauer?
Yes.
Mr. Roach?
Yes.
Mr. Bowers?
Yes.
Mayor May?
Yes. Back to the regular part of the agenda.
Are you done? Oh,
Now, are there any additional new business
you
items?
know there is.
I think I heard somebody down there talking.
I just knew y'all be excited if I had some more. I'd like for on the next work session, for us to just have a discussion on extending sewers out 127. You know, we get asked about that all the time. There's a lot of different aspects of it. Farmdale has a water district out that way. City, how do they do it without losing money? There's a lot of different factors, but I think it's time to be looking at that.
Okay.
And I think they're already talking about it anyway.
They sure are. Any other new business?
Well, got one more, and
Go ahead.
that's it. I don't know if this is necessarily a new business or not. I'll just skip that one. I don't have any more new business. Except I want to move to go to executive session whenever that's the time to do that.
Absolutely. Did anybody else have any? No. And
Are you gonna,
you-
and we still have, we're still in recess from our,
Absolutely.
so you wanna go into executive session before we do that? Finish up the old.
Well, and you can make a
No.
motion to go into closed session per 61-810 sub 1 sub whatever you're doing, and then at the conclusion of that, to reconvene.
I want to do exactly what the mayor just said, and it's about the Frankfort Plant Board.
Okay, so it would be,
Well, can I ask a question?
Okay.
The hearing is like an open meeting, so would it not be better to go finish up that and then go into a closed session so that anybody that might want to hear about the stormwater can then leave and leave us to our closed executive?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. If
I
that
like
works,
that.
it just is.
Oh, thank you.
I'd just go with what Commissioner Bauer's idea.
Okay, so we would make a motion
Make a
to
motion for that.
return to the, reconvene our
Right.
stormwater special meeting. And then at the conclusion of that, the motion would be to include going into executive session per 61, KRS 61-810 sub 1 sub, we're going to go under
C.
C for litigation.
Correct.
61-810 sub 1 sub C for possible legal.
That's what you said, right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
second
That's what I
it.
heard.
I second.
Good.
Okay. Seconded by Commissioner Bauer. Does anybody want, Commissioner, could you restate the motion? Just kidding.
What?
Just kidding.
Not the way you said it. I can like summarize it.
It's just teasing. Clerk, please call roll.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mr. Sauer?
Yes.
Mr. Roach?
Yes.
Mr. Bowers?
Yes.
Mayor May?
Yes. We're in recess. Then we're going to go to closed session. And we won't be coming back for any action. In case anybody, because I know you're going to ask. Thank you.